we may have potential of a pullback to weekly demand looking at the daily. So if you were feeling really super aggressive, in fact, there isn't anything. Don't bother. Wait for new levels to form, because I'm looking at what I'm trying to do is look at this level because of breaking momentum. Yeah, a break in momentum line. So I'm looking at that level, but not fully formed yet. I'd rather that demand is removed. Yeah. So still an uptrend. Buying is still in charge. And New Zealand CAD, nada happening. Not much happening. A market that's based for 4 weeks and is still just holding the demand, still holding it. Let's look above, see if there's any quality shorts. I'm looking at, nah, it's too low. Maybe that one is potential. That one is a potential. Yeah. And you have little pockets here of it still even higher. The higher the better. Yeah. I like this level, but it's far away. I like that level. New Zealand Swiss downtrend. Supply still holding. The Cervantes zone is still holding up here. We got nothing though to short it against. At least not on this time frame. The only thing I'm seeing is this kind of trade. But for the way this is basing down here, for now, I'd like a pull back a little bit lower and then rally up, and that area may be the only opportunity we get for now before it drops for us to short it. Let me take these lines out. So that's a potential short for me. New Zealand Japanese. Supply and control. Downtrend. Looking at this area, it should fall into all of this gobbledygook, but the gobbledygook leads to, there are two levels here, all of this and all of this. So this one is coming in above, actually coming in higher, right into this level. And this one is sitting inside a supply now. Again, combine the two levels, sitting in that. Okay. So if we push higher, we're looking to sell short closer to weekly and daily supply. We can't, if we can get through this 60-minute level first, though. Yeah. So these ones may not be that great if we're not close to the highs. Yeah. But let's see. Just one excuse. The question you mentioned a while back that if Momo line breaks outside of the higher time frame zone, then we should pass. Is that correct? Once you see Momo line, yeah, Momo line breaks are strongest when they break at big picture levels. When they break outside of big picture levels, they're not as strong. So in those cases, I would definitely prefer the stronger evidence, which is the removal of an opposing zone, if the break happens outside of the big picture level. If the break happens inside the big picture level, it has a higher probability. In which case, you could say, okay, you know, in those instances, I'm going to go with a Momo break. If I get a removal of an opposing zone, even better. But I'll feel more comfortable using a Momo break when it happens at a curve level. It's like trading at a zone at a curve level and not at a curve level. Yeah, it depends on where the break happens. If it happens at curve level, it's a stronger thing. Still holding that demand, and the New Zealand still basing for 4 weeks. You can see the basing happening there. Is there anything to buy against? You can see the level that we marked off in that little box. That's what's worked. Let's see what's on smaller time frames here. Who remembers this trade? Tell me somebody took this trade, please. Who remembers this trade from last week? So on the video, it's recorded. You got it? Nice one, Cervantes. Good. Yep. Nice, nice, nice. I thought we'd lost it earlier in the week when it came that close. Look at how close it came earlier in the week. Oh, nice. But look at how close it came, and look at where it went to all the targets, even, and then up to where? Up to the supply that we had marked off, right up there, and then it fell right back, and it hit target one. So yeah. Oh, we did it last week. It'll be on the video. Again, it's the bios, obviously, because we are down. It's a downtrend, but you notice our lines. We were saying, yeah, we're in a downtrend. Momentum is down, but we are also very flat overall in this market. So we were right at the bottom of the range. Anybody shorting at this level is betting that this downward momentum is what's going to carry you. But we never short at demand. Like this, especially at the bottom of a range, right? When we're low on the range, remember, as we say, we buy low, sell high. So that's why we were looking for potential buying opportunities, especially as there was some room to go to the supply zones with a break in the daily momentum line as well, with demand being created. So those levels were this level in particular was at this daily demand down in here. So that's how we marked off the trade last week. It's in the video. It'd probably be better to watch it again and see. Yeah. So we are finally into that weekly supply on the S&P 500. We can see the selling beginning to come into the market. What kind of candle is this? What is everybody, all the people who trade candlesticks, and there are thousands of them, what is everybody waiting for now? What do they see and what are they waiting for? What is your opposition waiting for? Other traders, the people who will determine the outcome of your trades. It's not you that determines the outcome of your trades, it's other traders. So what do you guys think? Yeah, they're looking at a shooting star. Yeah, and they're likely to be shorting. What they'll probably be waiting for, what people are taught, is to wait for a break for the next day, short below the low of the shooting star. Okay, we are looking at it that we are into supply. We've seen evidence of selling coming in, but do we have confirmation? Not really. We still have this demand to break. We still have that to break. We have evidence of some break a little bit. That will be on smaller time frames. For the daily, I mean, that whole area is the demand. We are into demand, so we want to see what happens here. If we rally up into this one, yeah, then we can look at shorting there. For now, it's a watch. It's not a short yet. Not a short yet. Sugar, nada. Nothing. Still working out for target 2. Taking its merry time. What else we got? Let's look at US dollar Canadian. Again, looking at the weekly supplies up there. Let's tidy that up. And we look to be losing the upside momentum. That's a gobbledygook. So we got nothing here really, but we're losing upside momentum. Let's take a look on the daily, see what we come up with. And on the daily, we did go above that area, but we've also pulled now below this area, so that won't be valid anymore. Now, what is happening is we now have a drop-based drop and no quality demand until down here. So here's a potential short idea for you. Right into here. That's a bit aggressive. That one I'm probably not gonna take that one. If anything, I'm going to look to squeeze this. I'm putting it here deliberately to make sure you understand your stop should go above there. That level and that one. Not the greatest, but those are the two levels. So really, what I'm looking at is this zone right there where the drop came from. But I'm including the line up there to make sure you understand. Ideally, you want your stop to be above there. So that's why I'm combining those two. And obviously, the rally base drop right at the top there. Yeah. So it's a little bit aggressive because we don't have a confirmed downtrend on the weekly. We have ending of upside momentum, and it's not even ending yet. It's what we need this week to stay away from the upside momentum line before we can confirm that. I'm just looking at people counting lower highs and lower lows. So it's the sooner trade. It's the early trade. This is an early trade, an early short. So the US dollar Japanese, we've come into the demand, we've hit it this week and we've rallied up. Now let's start seeing if we can find any demand levels to buy at. So I'm looking at potentially that one. I'm going to combine the two levels here. That one. I'm going to make I'm going to get that one there. So that trade there is a potential. If we form, what's more likely I think to happen is we form new levels. I don't know if it will happen, but we probably will form new levels as we go higher, and then we can look to join that. We have an uptrend on the weekly, so you definitely want to be looking for buying opportunities. The daily seems to be slowing down significantly. 5 days in a row of sideways nothing. As you can see, all week this market has not really gone anywhere significant. So bear that in mind. So we're trying to buy low here to try to join the next leg up of the weekly uptrend. So that area there is where I would look. Let's look below it and see what have we got. Nothing. It's a lot of trading there. I would wait for new levels to form. And let's look at crude. So crude is still in an uptrend, trying to pull back. It's caught in the dilemma of supply there, and a little bit of demand here. So it's a bit of a tight one for crude. I'm not inclined to short it if I'm a weekly, daily, 4-hour, but if I'm that's what I was just going to say, Austin. If I'm a daily, 4-hour, 1 hour, the issue I have is I'm in the middle of the curve. Now I'm looking at that level, which is high on the curve. I'm looking at this level. The reason I'm looking at this and not this is because of the closeness. So you could argue it's a level on top of level, but if I'm going to short there, guess what? In fact, let's do it this way. Let's put it there. See where my stop goes? Right at supply. Never a good proposition for me. I don't like that. So I'd rather take the higher level and put my stops above there than try to be cute with the stop. So trading level on top of level. Remember, we said there are many ways to do that. So that's trading the daily, 4-hour, 1 hour, so short-term income. For longer-term income, you're actually looking for buys. So you'd want the daily to go back into an uptrend, maybe even break that supply, and then you can look for long positions to join the weekly uptrend. Let's take a quick look at gold and silver. Anything on gold? Nothing's changed much. Downtrend on the weekly, sideways on the daily. You can see that sideways pattern on the 4-hour more clearly. And if I wanted to short it, I'd still wait for the daily supply up there to be reached. We haven't reached it yet. We are still trying to work off of this daily whole demand area. We want to push higher, preferably there. You could try it. I mean, you are in the lower end of it. You could try and give it a go. Again, because of the downtrend on the daily, I would look for confirmation on the 4-hour. Now, confirmation on the 4-hour in this case, we're removing that supply, looking down here, so lower down around here. If you're saying that this supply has been removed, which it has, you're now working off of this supply. So if you wanted to be aggressive a little bit, try and looking down here, but yeah, there isn't much quality. Well, that level worked nicely, but there isn't too much quality here. This area has been tested is my issue with it right here. Otherwise, I would have said this zone. So if you're going to trade this zone, definitely look for a lower than that. So that's the area where I would look to buy it. Obviously, profit margin and everything would have to go into it. You're trying to buy at the bottom of a range, which is happening on the daily. Sideways, always with the sideways thing, it's always tricky. Will it go lower, for example, to that one? So if this one fails, the next area is there. That's the next area. In fact, I'd rather buy there than the yellow box above. I'd rather buy this one. I'd rather buy this one than that one. Definitely. The what's going for this one is that you're seeing it's all part of this bigger lower end of the zone kind of thing, and that's the upper end of the zone kind of thing. That's the upper end of the sideways range. You're at the bottom end. You've rallied up again, so coming back. The issue I have is when you come back here now, you didn't make it all the way up as you did most times. You didn't make it all the way up to the high of the range. You see what I'm drawing? I'm just going to combine these two because they're one move. So if you now come back, if you now move up like you've done and come back straight away, what's that telling me is that the bounce from here this time wasn't enough to carry it all the way there. Does that make sense? So that's why I would look for a lower zone to see if we get a new bounce. Yeah? So, yeah. So that's gold. Well, let's look at Facebook. Facebook got slapped, as in megally slapped this week, just for the fun of it. It got slapped. Look at all the demand zones they took out. Yeah. So now you have a very odd situation where Facebook has supply come in for sure. This does not mean, though, that you can't rally back up into that area. This is very emotional selling. It's a gap down. You're looking at it on a weekly chart. What actually happened was Facebook gap. Look at the gap from 218-ish down to 170, 170, 176. So that, well, how much is that? 24, 32 bucks for a stock. Whoo! Good luck. Well, that's going to take a while. That's going to take a while for sure, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible. People are going to be looking for, I mean, this is a definite sign that selling has come into this market, no doubt. But the first wave is always, the scary one. People will still be thinking, oh, here's an opportunity to go long Facebook. It's still a good company with good management. It's still got X amount of subscribers and Y amount of, advertising income coming in. So people might try to get a bounce, see it come back to this sort of area where the arrow is here on the daily, and then try to sell it again. So for now, it's a watch. It's on my watch. It's not a trade per se. The good thing for it is that the NASDAQ, the S&P, they haven't been hit with Facebook taking the hit. So it looks like it's a localized explosion, if that makes sense, or more to the point, a localized implosion for Facebook. So the other markets have not been, hammered so much. Yeah. So that's what I've got for now. Any questions, guys, before we finish? We've managed to get through all of them again. I think next week we're going to have somebody else present. I need to take a look and see who, but probably will be somebody else next week presenting. Cervantes, you've presented. Austin's presented. Merca's tried. Merca, do you want to give it a go again next week? Maybe, hopefully you'll have better audio. Are you around next week? Merca? No internet. Okay. So I'll pick somebody else next week and I'll message you. It might be one of the Aussie guys. Mo will present next week. There you go. Mo will present next week, and Surinder will present the week after. You guys are going to need to wake up early, so when you watch the video, you've been called out. You can tell them on the chat. You're going to need to wake up real early. Or maybe, no, you know what? For the Australian guys, maybe what we'll do is when someone from Aussie is presenting, we'll do the roundtable on a Saturday so that they don't have to wake up early to go to work on Sunday morning. Yeah, that's an idea, isn't it? So we'll do it on a Saturday so that they can still get sleep on Sunday, so to speak, kind of thing. Yeah? Yeah, so we can do that. So roundtable will be Saturday next week, and Nasir will be presenting. Somebody tell him to please watch the video. Saturday, and I'll put it in the chat. Saturday roundtable next week, and we are having Nasir will present. Okay, guys? I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you for attending.